Hello and welcome to that Peter Crouch podcast. This is the Friday edition. Got this notorious SID and Chris Stark with me as usual. Obviously, the news has broke about Sven-Goran Eriksson. Just wanted to start really by saying kind of how much he meant to me, because I think he was England manager when I made my debut, and he drafted me into like an American tour at the end of the season, and it was like, I don't know, I don't think many people would have kind of stuck by me in the way he did, you know. I ended up going to Liverpool and not playing, and I think he saw something in me that kind of kept me in the side, you know, kept me in it, and thank God he did. So I kind of owe him a lot. I think plenty of managers would have maybe crumbled. I remember getting booed when I came on for England at Old Trafford by kind of my own fans, and it was one of the hardest things ever. He never once wavered. He never once kind of crumbled under the pressure of like, this is, you know, it'd be easier just to kind of discard me, really. But he believed in me, stuck by me, and that was the measure of the man, really. And I think that was what, you know, certainly that was my kind of thoughts on Sven and how much he did for me. But then he touched kind of so many people just by the way he was, the manner of him, the aura he had, and of course how intelligent he was around football. So, just a little kind of note just to say how much kind of Sven meant to me, really, and sad to see him go.
Yeah, there's been some amazing tributes this week, hasn't there? And it's been amazing hearing people's stories about Sven, and also those incredible words that he has kind of left. And I think we've all seen on social, and he says that people should smile and, you know, live your life. Yeah. And it's very emotional. Yeah. But also what an amazing legacy, and what a way to go out. Yeah. In the way that he has, and the words that he's left people. I saw JMO put up this amazing picture of him in the dressing room, and Sven sort of looking on, and JMO, it must be pre-game or half-time, and he's got all his kit on, and he just looks like he had that amazing presence in the dressing room, in a very different way to other managers.
Yeah, definitely. I think his calmness was the main thing, but I just think what he did was kind of live his life and not worry too much about what people thought. And I think we could all be a bit more like Sven, you know, like a bit more like, you know, we're always worried about public perception and what people think of us. He didn't care. He got on with his life. He enjoyed it, and he did it his way. And I think that's
great sense of humour as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. So
nice.
Rest in peace, Sven. You know, he had an effect on us all. Right, it's the Friday pod. Okay, well, I'm starting to dislike the Friday pod now. It was something that I really did enjoy. There's been calls of you getting a lot of help, Chris. Not just from me, from various other sources.
It's not been a secret at all. I discussed it with both of you guys.
I know.
What I was going to do.
What I'm saying is the
integrity.
The integrity.
I knew where you were going with this.
It's been called into question. I thought it would only be right if I raise it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well,
you've gone storming to the lead with 9. I had a 3-point head start. I'm on 6 since the second. I've gone into the bottom of the league now.
I mean, I think you're right. I think it's, you know, he didn't ask for this help at all last season, and he's getting a lot. I mean, he's giving him shout outs every time now on the podcast as well. So
thoughts.
What the thoughts on me asking for help from people?
Just your thoughts on it.
Are you going with the help as well? Is there a majority that go for like one, maybe or two sort of fixtures?
Who's you taking? Like, there's obviously lots of people getting in touch with you. Who's
I can tell you on this. Look, it's been no secret for me that what I do is when we come to record the Friday pod, I look at the fixtures that we're going to talk about. I take a little picture, I whack it up on my story. The theory is here, you two, week on week, I've been plugged with stats, all sorts of information to help you be the brilliant presenters that you are in the football world. I'm not privy to this information. So naturally, I call on my own help, which is just the people who listen to this podcast. And I do like the sort of power to the people vibe about
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I'm just thought I'd raise the question.
So I'm going to pick, every time I do this, honestly, the DMs are flooded with people.
I'll have the names.
So Michael Treadwell, he sounds like a relative of yours. Hello to Chris. That could be any number of Chris's that message here. James, Dave Askew, Ridian, Sam Wall, Rick Honey. Ricky Honey is his name, I think.
What a name that is.
What a name.
Great
Ricky
name.
Honey. Jamie Chown, Asa, Daniel Clark, Tom Westlake and Walty. These are just a few of the names that I see at the top of my DMs right now that have helped send in score predictions to the story that I put up literally 5 minutes ago, lads. And I'm going to stick with it if it's okay, because I do feel this levels the book slightly. And I understand why your arse is twitching, but that's because at the current sort of start of the season here, it does look like your arse may have fallen out.
It does, yeah. I mean, Brighton, Manchester United was the 3-pointer you got. You said 2-1.
That was perfect.
You also had...
Sorry, just on that game.
That killed me.
Sid.
Well, you went early, didn't you, in the in our WhatsApp group?
I was pissed
Sid's,
off.
You've done it again.
Yeah.
Perfect score. And then 2 minutes later on.
95th.
João Pedro as well. Couldn't have been more.
Free header at the back post as well. Like, quite sure they were doing there. Well, just on the football, like last week, again, lots of goals. It was exciting. You know, there was a lot going on, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You know, Everton struggling again. Manchester United getting beat. They would do. You know, there was a lot going on, wasn't there? I thought Liverpool looked comfortable game.
Do you think Liverpool, just on the coverage of that game, I was watching it on holiday, which, by the way, is such a wonderful thing to do, isn't it? You know, if you're on holiday and you get into a bar where the football's on, and they just seem to do it better in a lot of these places. I was in a place called Javier in Spain, and I was in a sports bar there. I think it was called Geographic, but it was great because there was loads of English fans in there. Premier League fan, but English speaking, all in the kits, and screens just all around. Do you know what I mean? But then overlooking the sea.
Yeah. It's the setting, isn't it, for me?
And big beers, big draft beers.
Yeah, nice.
It was lovely.
Pinta.
Oh man, it was
Lovely.
it was just a lovely location. And I was watching the games, and I don't know if it was just the coverage I was watching. I feel like Liverpool there's an extra scrutiny that seems to come their way with the games that perhaps you don't necessarily see with other clubs. I don't know if this is just the legacy of Klopp and the comparisons with the new manager. But I thought they looked good, and I don't know if the coverage necessarily reflected how good I thought they looked, in my opinion.
No, the thing is, I thought they looked comfortable, and I think that is the most important thing. I think it never really looked in doubt, you know. And I think you know, quite often at times, even under Jurgen Klopp, obviously, you know, it felt like there were games they always looked like they could score, but they always looked like they could concede.
Yeah.
And I felt quite comfortable with them. And again with Tottenham as well, I thought they were fantastic.
I like Tottenham at the minute.
Even in the first game, you know, I know they drew it, but I thought
first half they could have been outside.
They looked very good. They looked very good. They made some good signings as well. You know, they look fantastic, I thought. But on the flip side of that, Everton did look disappointed. And you can see there was a few videos going around of them at Euston, which I've been in that situation myself, by the way. I have been in that situation myself where you go to get on the train and you've lost, and
I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? It is the minority, and it was a small group, but you just associate the fans of Everton always being behind the team. And once that starts, especially up at Goodison as well, where they need them so much.
No, but they need a result now. They need a result to turn that around.
He gave a bit back, didn't he? Yeah. Time to fuck off.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I don't think that helps, if I'm honest. I don't think that helps matters.
Yeah, but you can't walk to the train. Like, I don't know. You explain it to me. Like, how do you ignore that? You've got people screaming in your face, right?
It's a hard one to ignore. Obviously, like I have.
You can't exactly go over and go like,
you just keep your head down, do it. It's the same as when it's the same as when you're playing, and just because they're on the other side of the boards, they can hurl abuse at you. It's like it is what it is, isn't it?
But that's what Neil was questioning, wasn't it? He went out on social media and basically said, like, how is this acceptable? Yeah. And I sort of agree with you, Sids, in the sense that I guess behind the boards in a game, you know, that's just it. That's the atmosphere. That's the stadium, right? But I don't know, man. Like, I thought personally, I do sort of agree with him that I think it's a bit much being at a train station like that.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I don't agree with it.
That, you know, like they have been poor, haven't they? You know, like
oh yeah, I don't doubt that they have been poor.
They don't mind losing. Like they've been in situations where they lose in the last few years, and it's just kind of like the work rate. Certain situations that have been You know, I don't know. They haven't covered themselves in glory. They just want to see someone fighting. I think, yeah, of course they're trying. They're not trying to lose, are they? But yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't think anyone's in the right, are they?
No, that's exactly it. It's one of them.
Just a quick one. I wanted to just touch on Ivan Toney to Chelsea.
Oh,
So obviously Saudi was the. It looked like it was going to be going there. I want to see him in the Premier League. I still want to see him stay.
Yeah, I'd be
Chelsea are the
disappointed.
last ones to come in. But do you think it's the right move?
Yeah,
for
I
him?
think he'd be brilliant for Chelsea. I think he'll do really well. I thought Arsenal would have been a shout for him because I thought they needed a
Are you
striker.
surprised there's been a lot more that's not come in? Like for him.
and is the Saudi thing? Is that a kind of like? Do you know if that's an easy thing? Just devil's advocate stuff here. Is that an easy thing for an agent to stir up in terms of sort of maybe pursue that deal a bit more just to get a bit of attention, up the money, that kind of thing, like
Yeah,
show
no,
a bit of demand and
that happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
without doubt that happens.
and the second you see Saudi money coming in, you assume it's big money, which you have to assume helps leverage against those
Yeah,
Premier League deals.
feels like with Chelsea though, it's like anytime a player looks like he's going somewhere, then Chelsea are involved just in case that happens.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's a lot of
It's the
different
last few
signings
days,
and-
isn't it? Last few days of the window.
Yeah.
So
Do you know anything about this, Sids?
No, I mean, what was the last one? What's the latest? Sterling to
Yeah.
possibly Man United.
Yeah,
That was quite a
Sancho going the other
That
way.
was quite a public sort of statement on Sterling, wasn't it? He came out and basically said, I think it was as blunt as kind of prefer other wingers sort of thing.
Yeah, he's done it with a few, hasn't he? Chilwell.
Yeah,
He's done it with a lot.
He will get no minutes under me.
He will exactly. You don't want to hear that, do you?
Wow,
No.
that's difficult.
Chilwell as well.
There was a lot being made of the bomb squad
Yeah.
situation at the moment, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
And like me and
articles.
Sid, we've been
there.
bomb squads.
I've checked in there many times
It's
and
not-
not checked out.
not a nice place to be, though, is it?
No, it's not. And
You had it at Villa, right, Sid?
I had it at Villa, and to be fair, I had it at Stoke, didn't I? Really?
Yeah,
I
a
had it at
little bit
Stoke with you
Stoke at the end,
guys. And do you know what it is with that? Is it all depends on the personality of the player. Some can be fucking horrific.
I thought you were impeccable at Stoke.
Yeah,
because you would never ever a moment's problem.
Yeah.
and like trained properly, correctly.
Yeah,
kept
you
yourself
go and
fit.
knock his door down a couple of times and just ask the question. But the lads were doing well when it was just a case of you just got to bide your time, but that didn't come. So, but yeah, that bomb squad can be
difficult one. Yeah.
fracas.
And there's no way that Raheem Sterling was going to kind of take that line now, was there?
No
I mean,
chance.
He's done enough in the game to kind of
Yeah,
warrant maybe a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, that feels fair enough,
Better
doesn't it?
treatment.
Yeah.
than that, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's not. I don't think he's going to sit there and go, okay.
That's it.
I want to run something past you, just slightly wider than the Premier League. Saw this doing the rounds, and just with the football season ahead, they've updated the Champions League theme. Have you
Oh,
heard
what, the
this
theme?
yet? Yeah,
Theme tune.
this is what I'm saying. Unless this is wrong, do you want to
Is
hear
this
it?
because they've done a new format as well with the Champions League, isn't it?
Oh, right,
The
maybe.
new format, the new song.
Yeah, so it could
I
be.
just want to get your opinions on it.
Okay.
Because what
Is
it
it ever
sounds to me,
improved?
no, it sounds the same, except they've added one or two horns here or there, and I think they fucked it. I think they've ruined it a bit. I don't think it's necessary. Let me give you a blast. I think this is real.
No, that one was no good.
Thoughts?
Just feels like the horn guy's got horny, isn't he? He's gone too far. He's gone a bit much. It's great. I mean, it's still brilliant. It's just there's the odd mad horn in there. to
He's
look out for.
Viagra'd out of his nut. He took a bluey. He's taken a couple of blueies
Couple of
before
blueies.
he's done recorded.
My problem is, I think it's gone from the Champions League theme to, and I was trying to work out what it reminds me of now, and it's
I think
this.
I've got it. Is
Go on.
it a nature program on ITV?
I think it's this.
Antics Roadshow. That's it.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was like Bargain Hunt or something.
Why is it when you hear it, you do this though as well? Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'm worried the new Champions League theme's gone full Antiques
Oh
Roadshow.
my God, it might well have done.
I mean, we're nodding. It's quite catchy.
Oh my God.
Fuck, yeah.
Right, so someone out there now can play this music over the top of the... You know when they're all lined up?
Yeah.
There's going to be a few... Someone's going to put this over the top.
When the camera goes down.
It's going to be this one. Well, let's listen. There's plenty of people out there that can do this, and it will be done.
Big finish.
You see it now, just the mascot's doing that as the camera's going down.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, I do like it. I really do like it, but I think it may have gone a bit Antiques Roadshow there. Agreed. All right, we'll do your stuff, guys. Okay, just to clarify then, the scores from the weekend that we had were Brighton 2, Manchester United 1, Tottenham 4, Everton 0, and Bournemouth was 1-1 v Newcastle. I only got one correct team, and that was Tottenham who to beat Everton. The rest I struggled with. I thought United might nick it. Chris, obviously, correct score was 2-1. You also got Tottenham being the correct team that won. Sid, you had just a 1 point as well with Tottenham Everton as well.
Yeah.
So close with the Brighton Manchester United game. So the standings are as follows. Pete, even though he had a 3-point head start, 6. Sid's 7, and Chris is out on his own now with the rest of the Peter Crouch podcast listeners. They're all on 9.
Yeah,
You're all
that's
on
true.
9.
If I do end up bottom, everyone listening should have to do the forfeit.
Yeah, if they're in, they're in.
We're doing
That's it.
the world's largest forfeit
Yeah.
ever. Put them on the table, shouldn't we?
Should we just say that we are in a Devonshire today, and I've just poured, haven't I? The first draft Guinness 0% on tap there.
In Europe.
In Europe,
In
apparently.
Europe, the first draft Guinness 0 in
I
Europe.
feel very privileged actually.
There was a bit of a crowd watching as well when you did it.
It was, yeah.
It was a real moment, it felt like.
Quite a
You're going
moment.
to end up getting a little plaque on the wall
nice.
for that one, mate.
Also, as you said, that's going to save a lot of marriages, that drink, potentially.
Well, I think it will. It potentially save mine because I think if I have 4 Guinness, I'm making decisions that I wouldn't normally make. You know, like staying here for another 8 hours or something.
Yeah.
Whereas I have 4 of those, I think I could go home.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's the key thing. It gives you an option of an off switch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's-
I could actually go home on that, I think.
Fantastic.
And say I've had a great day. All right, should we get to
predictions.
football?
Yes, here we go.
All right, well, the next part of the podcast is supported by Paddy Power. It's the big weekend fixture. Of course, we've got to start Old Trafford. It's it's Manchester United versus Liverpool. One of the biggest games in, certainly the biggest game in English football, in my opinion. Liverpool big favourites here. They are 4-5, 10 against you, £18. United are 27-10, so 10 against you, £37. Liverpool massive favourites, even though it's at Old Trafford. Scores draw like last meeting is 10-3. Liverpool to batter United 3-0, 14-1, and 4-0 is 25-1. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? This it's really the last few have been draws, haven't they? Last 2 meetings in the Prem have been draws. The last meeting at Old Trafford was a 2-2 draw. But Liverpool are looking good, aren't they? Not conceded a Premier League goal.
No.
Yeah. You've got to look at the opposition, admittedly, but it looks like a foregone conclusion. This doesn't it?
Did you think that Diaz finish was the kind of shot that he necessarily wouldn't make last season with that much confidence? And
I don't know. No, I think, I just think he needs to add more goals to his game. Essentially, I think I love him as a player. I think Jota's the number 9 as well. He's class act at the moment.
Yeah.
Salah looks sharp. Trent just looks full of confidence, and they look solid. You know, so I mean, this is where we see what they're about. I think United, they need a big result now, so they have the potential to do it.
did you love playing in this game?
Yeah, I just loved it. Like being around it, it kind of feels like the country stops to watch. Whenever this game's on, it's 2 massive clubs, the biggest in our history. Obviously, won the most. in the Premier League era now, Liverpool kind of got the upper hand when United had it for so long. The atmosphere. I played in that game. I remember being on the bench when Neville went to the away end and did that thing. Rio scored the goal. I mean, I was kind of on the wrong end a few times. I remember scoring a winner in the FA Cup. That was special at Anfield, but majority of the time United had the upper hand on us, I'd have to say, at this
Playing at Old Trafford's something else. It's one of those, isn't it?
The atmosphere was electric, so electric. And as a footballer, these are the games you want to play in. I mean, obviously excited to see it unfold.
All right, shall we get into some predictions then, boys? What are we thinking?
Yeah. Who's going first? You can go first.
Take it in turns.
You go first. Yeah. Big one.
3-1 Liverpool. Yeah. I think they'll get goals. Liverpool. I think they can't keep them out. I think United will score. I think Liverpool will be. I think they'll be reasonably comfortable.
I've actually gone 3-1 as well.
Have you?
I have gone 3-1.
I've gone 2-1.
So that's going to be the fucking one, isn't it? If it is 2-1,
he gets another one.
We're watching it dying for a goal. It doesn't go.
Yeah, well, if it does come though,
I can.
Why don't we both go? Why don't we both go 3-1, drag him right back in? We can cheer it on together.
I really can see this being 3-1. I really, really can. Should we stick?
Well, come on, listen. He's going with. He's got some people on his side. Let's stick together on this one.
Okay. Us two versus the 10,000.
Yeah.
They're mostly saying 2-1, by the way.
Right. Well, we're sticking with 3-1.
3-1.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, lads. We got the Paddy Power boost. This is where Paddy Power will boost this accumulator that we provide them, and this is a player to score any time. I'm going to go with this one. Jota. I think Jota will score any time.
Okay.
You can add to it, Chris. What are you going to add?
Jota's in my fantasy football as well, so buzzing to hear that, Crouchy. Player to be booked, I'm going to go Maguire.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with for the player to commit one or more fouls. I think Casemiro. Someone in midfield, I think.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Well, listen, Paddy Power will boost that bet if you go onto the website and get involved. Odds are correct at time of recording. Please gamble responsibly. Right, let's get straight into Brentford versus Southampton. Difficult one, this. Difficult one to call. After the promotion to playoffs last season, the main aim, obviously, for Southampton, you have to say, is to avoid relegation. Not got off to the greatest of starts so far.
No, but
not one yet.
It feels Southampton are a strange one in the sense that it feels like defensively they look okay. I just don't see them scoring many goals. I don't think they have many shots last game.
Yeah.
Maybe even the game before that as well.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
So I think with that in mind, I'm probably going to go a bit low scoring on this from the Southampton side, at least, anyway.
Yeah, no, I see that. They lost Che Adams, didn't they, as well? They brought in Cameron Archer, Brereton Diaz as well. And, of course, Adam Armstrong. He got 24 goals from last season. But I agree with you. There is a struggle for them to score goals, I think, at the moment. And I think with Brentford as well, I think they look sharp. Visser and Mbemo are always good.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine this year. I think it looks like they are going to lose Tony.
Well, they come to terms with it last season, didn't they, with him being suspended for that amount of time. So it's no sort of shock that he's not in and around it and not playing. You'd assume that once this is done, the window, that he would have probably got a move that he wants. So I think you're right. I think they're going to be fine, Brentford. I quite like them at home. I think they're quite strong at home. They do concede goals from set pieces, though. And from crosses, I remember a lot last season. So if that could be an area Southampton could exploit, they possibly could get something. But I'm saying with Chris, I don't see him scoring this game. Or low scoring anyway. Do you want me to go first on this one?
Yes.
I want to go 2-0. If anyone has done that, I would change it to 1-0, but I've gone 2-0.
No.
Brentford, sorry.
I think again, I think Southampton do nick one. And I think Brentford 2-1.
Oh, you got Brentford 2-1. So still a Brentford win.
Still a Brentford win. 2-1.
Yeah, I think the same. I think Southampton are going to nick one. I've got a funny feeling, and everyone's saying 1-1. So I'm going.
Go 1-1.
So, despite me thinking this should be an easy Brentford win, in my opinion, I'm not going to go with.
You're going to go with the majority.
Yeah. The problem is with obviously the DMs. I don't know how many Southampton fans are obviously being hopeful and sending in these messages, but
How do you know
but
that?
1-0.
Just quickly, how do you know they're genuine? Like, as in, like, why?
I don't.
How do you know you're being shithoused?
I think I am on several of them. Like
Oh.
some of them are like put 15-0 or like
Oh, right,
you know
okay.
it's you know you just got to try and figure your way through it. Sid.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of shithouses out there as well.
But yeah, actually, I'm going to go for a draw on this one, and
So
I'm
what
hoping
if-
the game is more exciting than perhaps the scoreline would suggest. But 1-1.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to Chelsea Palace. This is an interesting game. This
Yeah.
London derby. Chelsea was a mad game last time against Wolves, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Madwiki, what a great hat trick. Unbelievable shithousery from him on the way
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Why
being
would
a
you do
complete
that,
shithole.
by the way?
But then how do you shithouse like that before the game, then score a hat trick and then apologise after
No,
it?
yeah.
It's an unbelievable 24 hours.
I
He's had-
didn't believe
follow
the
it through.
post. I didn't believe it when I
Did you
saw it. What we should say, if you don't know what this is, he went on his Instagram story and he's put up a post saying something along the lines of everything about this place is shit.
and with the little pin and Wolverhampton underneath it.
I mean, is he going to do this every town he goes to?
Well,
which
I
would be
think
a great
I think
touch.
he should
imagine
now.
that now.
Like
Yeah.
he scored a hat trick, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
But
unbelievable.
Well, you have the
It's-
lucky
it's-
pants, you know, it could be the lucky,
Yeah,
the lucky
you
tweet
should go
or
and
picture.
shithouse everyone.
I just don't get it. I was sort of round that bit of the world not too long ago. I was at West Midlands Safari Park, and I can't agree with him. I thought it was a lovely,
really?
lovely
Enjoyed
area.
it, really?
Had a great time. But what about Wolverhampton is particularly sort of got him?
Really
Because
rolled
surely
him up.
as a professional footballer, you know you can't write that anyway. But he's gone and done it.
I don't know where
it's
what he's thinking
bizarre,
with that one. Yeah,
bizarre hatred of Wolverhampton.
he hates it. He really hates it. But then he's gone and absolutely scored a hat trick as well, like to compound the misery.
Weird mood that day.
Yeah, strange whole vibe. Oh well, you have to say. I mean, they look good going forward. Certainly, obviously, still conceded goals as well, Chelsea, which I think they will do all season. Thing about Palace, obviously, slightly concerning for them. Obviously, Brentford and West Ham to lose games, kind of around teams in and around them. They probably think that they could finish above. Certainly, the fact that they kept hold of Eze. Disappointing start for them. But I have seen signs that they've. You know, they'll have enough, you know.
Yeah, the only thing is
Will they
with
have enough against
this,
Chelsea?
the only thing with this is that the window shuts the day before
It's a weird one.
these
isn't it?
games
Why,
are played.
why would you shut the day before these games?
And
Like,
like,
isn't
give
it
it to the weekend, wouldn't you, at least?
a bit unsettling, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, it is unsettling for Palace because you've got Anderson that's gone to Fulham, centre half. You've still got Gahey that I think Newcastle are going to come in with a bid of 70 years. And I think that could tempt.
They could lose them.
So to lose them two centre halves, well, they've lost one already. To lose Gahey would be massive void to fill. And Eze as well. I mean, he's still looking for. I don't think he's ready to go yet. I think he needs one more season at Palace to really consolidate him as a top Premier League player, which he is, but he's had a few injuries over the past few seasons.
But if you go historically, Chelsea have won the last 14 against Crystal Palace. Can you believe that?
No.
That's
Really?
unbelievable, that. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that, did you?
No, that's
The last 14.
impressive.
All right. Well, listen. Let's go for your predictions, guys.
Yep. Chris?
I'm going Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 1. Goals.
Exactly
I've
what I
gone
wrote
Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. I think they've all nailed it there with me, really, in terms of Palace scoring, possibly.
down. Okay. I mean, that was.
And goals from Chelsea. I'm going to stick with the 2-1.
All right, I'm not going to
change?
stick because I feel like I want to catch. I want to catch him.
Okay.
I'm going to go 3-2 then.
Oh, do you know that? I've got to be honest. That's what most people said as
Really?
well. Yeah, I've gone slightly against the population.
Well, okay. Well,
3-2
That
was a
could come.
regular-
Well,
yeah.
I'm going with 3-2.
Bit annoyed that
You've
that's
been annoyed I've
happened.
got that now.
If that
I'd love
comes
it.
through,
I'd love it. I'd love it.
I'd love it.
I'd love it
if
if that happens.
That'd be bad.
All right, we've got loads to catch up on as well, guys. Football shirts at stadiums. This one's from Australia. You may remember me from such tweets as Honeymoon Housery, where I took my missus to Vanuatu for the aforementioned honeymoon. Now I bring your attention to some Stadium of Light Housery, to the big man himself. I've seen this many a time, been tagged in this. In the Stadium of Light, it says 9 small steps for man, 1 normal step for Peter Crouch.
Oh, that's all.
It is on the
And that's
wall-
on a
wall.
stairway,
It's
isn't
nice
it?
that because it feels like I've been immortalised in the Stadium of Light.
Is that actually the Stadium of
Yeah.
Light in terms of Sunderland? Stadium of Light. Wow.
Apparently so.
Okay. That's nice stuff.
I've been.
It's not often a player that hasn't played for you is honoured in the
Associated,
stadium.
Yeah.
If ever.
I'll take it.
Definitely.
I'll
Definitely.
take it.
There is
Picture. We've got a picture here. We've got a picture from Sam Jackson, and it's a Crystal Palace shirt with our favourite number, 69, and it's got Schlong.
Okay. Not Schlupp. It's Schlong. Definitely
It-
Schlong.
it-
Is
well-
it definitely not Schlupp.
That's
no, it
definitely
is.
No,
Schlong, yeah.
that is a Schlong. It's the Schlong I've ever seen one.
Do you think he's? I mean, has he? He can't have got that made himself. Has he? Or is that a
I
forfeit?
believe he probably has. if I'm
And
honest.
once again, Premier
69.
League logos on the 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Like, surely the Premier League are going to cotton on at some point that they shouldn't
They're
have.
associated with Schlong
Yeah, with
69.
69.
Well, it's a new jersey, so it's fresh. You know, it's not an old one.
We're 100% sure they haven't signed a Schlong with the number 69.
I
From,
don't think so.
It's just not happening,
unbelievable.
is it?
They got a Schlupp, haven't they?
They've
definitely got a
not Schlong.
Nothing better than a Schluppy Schlong. If you remember last week, lads, there was a trivia question.
Yes.
I've got the answers to this trivia question.
Me and my son got 4.
Did you really?
I swear to you, without looking, we got 4, and he actually got the second one, which I was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I struggled with this big time.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones you think of there. You know, I was going Fabregas.
Yeah, never won the Champions League.
Never won the Champions League. I can't get my head around that.
I said French Giroud,
Giroud,
but he didn't win
yeah.
the Premier League for Chelsea.
I even thought Torres might be a shout. You know, but he never won a league at Chelsea, did he not?
No.
Won the Champions League at Chelsea, but not the league. Anyway, these are 5 players who've won the Champions League, the World Cup, the Premier League, and the FA Cup. The answer is Henry, Pedro, Alvarez, Kante,
Yeah.
and Belletti
Yeah.
is the one.
Yeah,
That
played with Belletti at Chelsea. Yeah,
but I mean that's a toughie. That
yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
real tough, tough question. That one.
Yep.
But that's what we do here on the Peter Crouch podcast. You know what I mean? It's tough.
But no cheating. That's what we do.
no
So,
cheating, no,
do
we
try
do-
and challenge yourselves.
Challenge yourself, 100%. That's it. I love a question, I have to say. I do love an old question. This week's trivia is fastest goal scored in Premier League history came at 7.69 seconds. Who scored it? Bonus points if you can guess both teams correctly.
I've got this.
Do you 100% know it?
One fact. I don't know. I know. Well, I
Was
know.
it last season?
No, I know the player and I know the team that he scored for, but I don't know what game it was.
So I remember the old one. I'll say it off air. I think the new one got in. But
You
we'll
s-
talk about this off air. Let's let them have a go. We'll certainly have a go and we'll let you know if we got it. We'll see you next week.